Hey y'all, it's your favorite nigga reader back with another story time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications bell, turn on my post notifications so that you get notified. It's time to community post chat as mouthful claims that is in blue, but there's a whole other story. Speaking of stories, let's go ahead and get into the story time. It's piping hot, so grab your snacks. Oh, grab a tea, grab a snacks, grab a seat. Let's get into all that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is to go over a few things. One, I want to go over issues as far as like medical negligence and what it means to file a medical negligence suit and like all the stuff behind that. But first, I want to get into I am currently in lawsuits against Ramanaji and USC Hospital, University of Southern California Hospital in Arcadia, right? And, there's been a lot of harassment in regards to trying to get me not to talk about the situation and all this other kind of stuff because they, you know, already immediately they gave me the hospital gave me a lead stroke. There was medical negligence, there was nurse abuse. The restaurant lied about the broth, was sent me to the ICU, and I had to be put on oxygen and had a very, very hard time breathing, and it messed with my vocal cords, right? So as I've been talking about this stuff, there's just been different situations that I noticed that if the information, because the hospital tried to insinuate that I was making everything up and lying, right? But I actually had proof, though they refused to allow me to charge my phone, and they deleted footage off of my camera, allegedly. I did have proof of one, how they were, what was going on inside the hospital, and two, how my body was looking inside the hospital. So I noticed that if I talk about the situation online, I had quite a few videos on social media go viral in regards to the situation. And I noticed after every single time this video that goes viral, there's some type of weirdness that happens with my social media accounts where issues that were never an issue are now all of a sudden an issue. And I noticed how, again, it's always in regards to somehow tied back to a video that has information in regards to the lawsuits, whether it was something that was posted that week or posted right before, or the videos themselves. Okay, so they're behind the scenes still harassing me. They just have taken it online. So that's that. And now that leads me to the medical negligence. So, when you're going up against big corporations like Ramanaji is a chain restaurant, and University of Southern California is USC, like, you know what I mean. So when you're going up against big corporations, they do a lot of quote unquote witness intimidation and witness tampering and all this other kind of stuff to try to deter you and scare you away from talking about the issue, which is what I just explained just then as far as like taking the information on social media. They want me to talk about any and everything outside of the issue at hand because they don't want to quote unquote look bad, right? So the medical negligence situation. You have, I want to say it's a year or a year and a half. I want to say it's 90 months or something like that to file a medical negligence lawsuit. Now, the issue with that is if you had a situation where you're like me and I had an alleged stroke. So, during that time, when you're trying to put your life back together, you're going to all these doctors. Oh my gosh, so many doctor's appointments, okay? You're doing rehab and all of a trying to, personally figure out what's going on with your body and trying to put your life back together. Your main focus, and you're trying to find representation, because it's not like it's easy right off the bat to find representation. You're trying to find representation for a medical negligence lawsuit, and so many people don't want to actually do medical negligence lawsuits because they quote unquote feel like it's too hard to prove. Or when they find out exactly who it's against, USC, they get scared because nobody wants to go against these big corporations or whatever, right? So you have a very hard time finding any representation against people that will have the balls to go against these people. So the time frame just gets shorter and shorter and shorter, right? And it makes it very, very hard to focus on trying to hold these people accountable. Well, the issue with that is when you go outside of that time frame, if let's say it's a year, you can file, and you can do this without a lawyer. You can submit an intent to sue paperwork. I'll try to see if I can locate the exact document and link it down below. But you can you can submit intent to sue, which gives you an additional 3 months, okay? An additional 3 months to be able to try to find representation to give you extra time to still do a medical negligence lawsuit. Now, for me, I do have a lawsuit, and the suit itself, like, I am diligent, okay? I read every detail of that motherfucker. It's really great. It's really great. It's really great. Okay. Now I will say this: it's hard to focus during that time, right? So it is very. What was I trying to say? Hold on. Now, the reason that it's hard to prove medical negligence suits is because it's a he say, she say type of situation. Now, in my case, I actually had proof, though the hospital did everything they possibly could to prevent that. The only reason I have proof is because there was someone in the hospital who was kind enough to give me a phone charger that allowed me to charge my phone, which one allowed me to go ahead and contact lawyers while I was in there, which is my protection inside the hospital, and two, it allowed me to be able to get footage and documentation because I already saw what they were trying to do, because the moment my body went paralyzed, they tried to kick me out of the hospital. So I already saw what they were on from the jump, right? Now, for you, if you or anyone else is going through a situation like this, get as much documentation as you possibly can. I was sending emails, breaking things down. I was writing things down, on paper. I was doing everything I could to try to get as much information as I possibly could, especially because I suffer from an alleged stroke. So I knew my memory wasn't going to be great, especially, with all the chaos and stuff that happened outside of, when I did actually get released from the hospital, which was 11 days. Okay. And that was because, again, God, because they forced me to release me, and then it got to a point where they refused to release me. So then these motherfuckers try to act like I was a damn prisoner in the hospital and refused to release me. So it's like, what, y'all gonna kill me in there? Allegedly. Rebuke that. Okay? So then get as much information as you possibly can. Because if you are going against big corporations like I am, they will allegedly fudge their medical documents. All my medical documents, it makes it seem like absolutely nothing is wrong with me. Okay? When there is visible proof. My hand and my foot was like 4 or 5 times the size it's normally been. Look at my hand now. This is the hand that had issues. Look at the hand now. Okay? I want y'all, I'll link my Instagram down below. I want y'all to go look at my Instagram and look at one of the pinned photos. The hands ain't the same. Okay? So again, if I didn't have that proof, then it would be like, oh, and not only that, in the paperwork, they literally tried to insinuate that I was crazy and I was making it up because they didn't think that I had proof, allegedly. Now, because I have proof, it makes them look bad because the documents are wrong, which means y'all lied. Now, here's the thing. How many times do you think they've done this? How many times do you think they got away with it? How many times did people were actually unalive and couldn't actually sit here to defend themselves? Never got justice. Okay? So for them and for me, I ain't stopping, motherfuckers. Hi. I now am officially your worst nightmare. You tried to be mine, but I'm actually yours. Okay, so back to helping you be able to get your justice. Get as much documentation as you possibly can. And like I said, write things out, get photos, do everything you can, because they will try to do everything they can to intimidate you from talking about the story, lie on you, okay, to try to make it seem like they're the big dogs and you're not. So, get as much footage as you can. I know sometimes when you go to like the rehab places, they are a little weird, but request that you were able to get footage in there. You know why? Because that is more proof for your case, child. You need all the proof you can get for your case, okay? So I'm a social media influencer. My job is